Next thing I know, we're on the coach in England, driving down the motorway to get dropped off at school. The coach is swerving across all lanes. We think we're going to crash. Driver pulls onto the hard shoulder, slams on the brakes. Everyone goes flying forward. We don't know if he's going to make it overnight. You might want to start thinking about funeral arrangements. During that time, my heart stopped whilst I was in Great Ormond Street, so they had to resuscitate me. Not once, not twice, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 times my heart stopped.
Real life stories.
We were going through the same
Real
thing.
life stories.
This is my life. I'm in control.
Real life stories.
Real life situations.
Change
My life.
out
Changed my
loud.
whole life.
Real life
We were
stories.
going through the same thing.
The people live out
The people and us.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to another episode of The People and Us. Now today we are joined by a very special guest by the name of Anthony Bennett. Now Anthony has been travelling the world for the past few years, inspiring thousands and thousands of people. So it's fair to say it's an absolute pleasure to have you today.
Thank you so much for having me.
Now I am your host, I am Joe.
So last time I said this, I am Jay, or Abhishek as I like to call him, has been, making fun of me. So if you haven't heard the last podcast, the way I introduced myself was, I am Vishal. And he hasn't liked it one bit, so we're going to keep it real this time and say I'm Vishal.
I am Vishal. So Anthony, over to you, man. How are you feeling, first and foremost?
I'm feeling fine, Davidozy.
Yeah.
Do you know, before we get into it, I just
Yeah.
want to say, I remember it was about a good fair few months ago, you sat me down and you told me, do you know what, I've got this idea, I want to do a podcast, I want to do talks, da-da-da. So to be here now and seeing it all happening live, hats off to you.
Thank you very much, man.
the team.
I would take my hat off, but I ain't trimmed. So. No, I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
And I got a sneak peek of, previous podcasts.
Oh,
and
yeah.
It's good. It's good.
This is going to get a lot better because I believe, like anyone who's hearing it, this is our season finale, by the way. This is our season finale. So if anyone watches anything, they know a season finale ends with a bang. And we've actually gone out of our way to get probably the best guest on here in terms of a story that is just very powerful. It's moved me since I was 16 years old, and it's going to move me today at 30. I should have brought some tissues. I haven't got the tissues, but I'm just going to have to use my sleeves or your sleeves because your shirt looks yellow, even though it should be a white shirt.
Peace, man. Positivity, man.
That's deep because my dad washes my shirts and he doesn't understand the concept of whites are washed separately. So right now you just took a shot at my dad. So I'd like you to apologise to my dad.
I'm sorry, Uncle G.
There we go. So listen, now that's out of the way, yeah. So again, we've mentioned the fact that your story is absolutely moving. You have shortly before we started, we have been speaking about the different countries you've been traveling to. So hats off to you as well, man, because I remember meeting you last year, and I think it was your first international gig that you done. And shortly after that, speaking again today, knowing that you've gone to so many different countries, again gives our viewers.
Yeah, viewers. No, listeners. Yeah.
Whoever the bloody hell you are. It gives you a good insight as to what you can expect. So tell us a bit about yourself, man.
Where would you like me to start?
Let's start where it matters, because obviously your journey goes back to when you were in sixth form. I think your first year of sixth form, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So it was a tragedy, wasn't it? It was tragic what happened to you.
It was crazy what happened to me.
I didn't want to say it, but it was absolutely crazy what happened to you.
Yeah, it started off best school trip of my life. All my friends abroad, Disneyland, Paris, having a real good time. And it was a 3-day school trip. And on the third day, I started to feel a bit weird. I couldn't make sense of what people were saying. I kept feeling very dizzy, disorientated. I thought I was dehydrated. Drank more water and it just kept coming and going. Next thing I know, we're on the coach in England, driving down the motorway to get dropped off at school. The coach is swerving across all lanes. We think we're going to crash. Driver pulls onto the hard shoulder, slams on the brakes. Everyone goes flying forward. He runs off the coach. We're thinking, what the heck is going on? So we go to the window. We see him by the side of the coach, just throwing up everywhere. So we had another driver come collect us and take us back to school. Next day, went to school, and maybe 3 people showed up for lesson. So I was thinking, what is going on? And we all, who showed up for lesson, we all felt ill. We all had headaches, no energy, sweaty palms, and just like we had flu. So then I think it was 2 days later, I walked downstairs and I couldn't make any sense of what I was saying. And my mum thought I was on drugs. She thought I was going crazy. She thought I was playing a prank on her. So she's getting angry at me thinking, why are you still dragging on this joke? Like, just stop it now. You're winding me up. And I was like, oh, banana, cucumber, just talking absolute rubbish, not making sense. So then my mum sat me down and said, you know, what is going on? And by that point, I could say one word, hurts, 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 hurts. So I'm hitting my chest. My mum noticed I'm finding it hard to breathe. She looks down, my feet are blue. So my dad comes, sees the state I'm in. He goes, we need to go to the hospital straight away. So he threw me over his shoulders, ran me to the car, strapped me in. We took a short trip to Ealing Hospital.
Can you remember the journey to the hospital?
Yeah, I remember sitting in the passenger seat and just having like a very heavy head. My head just kept dropping and I was just sweating, dripping from sweat. It was dripping off my nose, my ears. I was just very, very hot. And I remember the look in my dad's face. He was looking at me and he just kept talking to me. He's just saying anything like, oh, you're right, you know, what we up to? Just trying to keep me talking because I kept sort of going in and out of consciousness. And I just remember the look on his face, like...
Must have been a worried look.
Yeah, it's just that look. You can tell something's wrong by the look he was giving me. So we arrived in A&E and we queued up and then some people sort of said, oh, do you want to come and sit here? So they gave us 2 seats next to each other because at first we were sort of opposite, like back to back. So then they were like, no, come sit around next to your son. And my mind started playing games on me, like with me. So I'd be looking around the A&E and whoever I made eye contact with, automatically my brain would say, they hate you, they think that you're trying to jump the queue, you know, and then they're whispering to other people saying, look at him, he's trying to sort of play around and sort of get seen first and this and that. So I'm trying to explain to my dad, shall we come home, you know, go home and come back tomorrow? And he's like, nah, we're staying here. Then someone came and gave me like a brown paper bag to breathe out of. Next thing I know, I'm in this like emergency side room, like with the whole room to myself. So my dad's sitting next to me, I'm in the bed. They took an x-ray of my chest. Doctor came in, analysing the x-ray, left the room, came out with 2-3 more doctors. They're all discussing the x-ray. My dad's just reading the paper, doing a crossword. Okay, there's 4 doctors in the room. Next time he peeks at the paper, there's 8 doctors. So he's thinking, right, time to put down the paper. What's going on? Oh, Mr. Bennett, your son's extremely ill. His whole chest is infected. He's going to need a special life support machine called ECMO. Thing is, there's only 4 hospitals in the whole UK that have an ECMO life support machine. So we're going to ring around and see if we can get it. And in the meantime, he's deteriorating very, very fast, but we're going to try everything we can do, you know, to save him. Luckily for me, there's a magical place called Great Ormond Street Children's Hospital in London. Had the last available machine, so I was transported there. And when I got transported to Great Ormond Street, the oxygen tank that they had with me, I think was about 60% full. And they said, nope, go get a brand new one 100% because we're not taking any risks. If his oxygen runs out, if we're stuck in traffic, he ain't going to make it. We need to make sure that everything is right and topped up and everyone is aware of what's going on because it's very touch and go from, you know, from that point.
That's And when you were in the ambulance, was it an ambulance that was taking you?
I don't remember that point. I don't remember being transferred. I think I may have been put to sleep at that point.
Okay.
So they put me in an induced coma just so they could work on and do whatever they needed to do.
Imagine what your parents are going through at this moment.
That's the thing. I think it hit my mum the most because she thought I was just playing a prank. She didn't know how serious it was. You know, go to the hospital, get some tablets, you'll be home the same day. You might stay overnight, we'll see you tomorrow. Next time she saw me, I was in Great Ormond Street with machines all around me, eyes taped shut, tubes, you know, breathing for me, from my nose, from my mouth. So for my mum to see her son in that state, I physically can't think of what that would do to her. I don't have children, so I don't know, sort of, I don't have that emotion within me. I just know that it's not good.
Yeah, because I can imagine as a parent of thinking it's a prank and there's telling your kid no, stop playing, and then next thing seen, like you'd have some type of guilt as well. I think, you know, you can imagine. And
my mum was saying that if I was to die, it would have broken her heart because she never got a chance to say goodbye to me. You know, that was on her mind. And whilst I was in hospital, in Ealing Hospital, she told me that she used to have like I think one of my t-shirts, and she used to sleep with my t-shirt, just have that scent of me just close by, you know, with her. And I think she had like a little ornament and she would just be praying all the time. And it really shook the dynamics of my family because at that point your life just changes. Everyone's got different roles and responsibilities. My oldest sister had to become sort of the person in charge of the children. So she had to drop my brothers and sisters to my nan's. She had to get us dinner whilst my dad was still going to work, doing what he had to do. My mum was with me by my side from morning to night, you know, just being with me. So she went on that whole journey, 7 weeks in hospital with me by my side from morning to
You were in
night.
hospital for 7 weeks.
7 weeks, 3 weeks which was on life support. So I was on ECMO for 21 days. And just to explain what ECMO is, it stands for extracorporeal membrane oxygenation. And
Say that one more time so they get that.
extracorporeal membrane oxygenation. And in a nutshell, the way it works, there's this big tube and it goes through the main artery in your neck, through to your stomach, and they pump the blood out of your body. It gets filtered through this massive machine, oxygenated, then they pass that blood back through your body. So it gives your lungs a chance to heal whilst your body's still having oxygen in the blood. So I was put in induced coma so my body can relax while this machine is like working to save my life. During that time, my white blood cells reduced to near 0, which meant it was hard for my body to fight infections. I had a seizure whilst I was in a coma. They gave me about 10% chance to live. Every step forward I was taking 5 steps back. My family kept getting called into this, what they call the meeting room, where they say, you know, the updates, what's happening, and it'd always be bad news. And it got to the point where my mum physically couldn't go through that door because she knew bad news is on the other side. So they had to change the room where they told my family bad news. But it was just always, you know, oh, we don't know if he's going to make it overnight. You might want to start thinking about funeral arrangements. During that time, my heart stopped whilst I was in Great Ormond Street, so they had to resuscitate me. Not once, not twice, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 times my heart stopped in Great Ormond Street. So, you know, for me to be here is like, it's a miracle in itself.
It's a blessing.
Yeah.
So that itself, I couldn't imagine going through myself. Yeah, like that is one of the biggest things you could ever do, is facing death and coming back on the other side and saying, yes, I'm here. So that must have changed the way you saw life completely.
Massively. And that change happened from the moment I left the hospital, crossed the road, got into a cab, that ride home. I started to see things that I wouldn't pay attention to. What I focused on was the pace of life. Everyone was moving very fast. I was just able to walk. I had to learn how to walk again. I had to learn how to talk again because I had a trachea. So I was breathing out of this tube from my neck. So I had to learn how to use my voice again. I had to learn how to sit up, you know, how to stand, how to walk, how to eat again. Everything from scratch. It was like reset button was pushed on my life. But what that done to me, doctors and nurses call it post-traumatic growth. You can either get post-traumatic stress or post-traumatic growth when you go through something like traumatic. And with post-traumatic growth, you always want to better yourself. You're always looking for the next way to level up or progress. You get addicted to progress. So by me seeing myself not being able to walk, knowing that my brain knows how to walk, I've been walking my whole life, but my body doesn't. I had to relearn and teach myself how to do it. And what I did along that process was I cheered myself on. So I'd always be like, wow, we done 1 step. All right, tomorrow we're going to do 2, we're going to do 3. Do you know, I'm going to skip 4, I'm going to try and do 5. And I'd always try to push a bit beyond. And I got addicted to that. I like the progress. And that has been a part of me now. In everything I see, I want to see progress. If I'm speaking with someone and they're telling me about a transition that they've been through, whether it's going from a low point in their life to a high, I love hearing those sorts of stories. I love pushing people on to help them, sounds cheesy, but believe in themselves. Because when someone is happy, when someone is enjoying what they do, naturally, they just have this glow about them. And it's a natural, beautiful glow. And I love seeing that in people. You know, when people have a quality and I can see it, but they haven't got the confidence to push through it, I take it personally because I believe in that person. And sometimes I believe in people more than they believe in themselves. Like I super believe in everyone. But people just need a bit of time to sort of build that confidence to sort of get the ball rolling.
Get out in themselves. I mean, we always talk about self-belief is the first thing. Like if you don't believe in yourself, even if you did, it's not going to do much for me. Because until I can actually see what you see, there will be no progress.
But at the same time, I think everyone needs that one person or people to say, do you know what? I believe in you. I think you could do that.
Yeah.
Because that gives you this power, that energy where you think, do you know what? Maybe I can.
Yeah.
And you're more willing
I
to
agree
sort
with
of try and do things. Just you always have that person in the back of your mind.
Yeah, I
thinking,
agree with that.
That person believes in me, or that person gave me an opportunity, and it helps you excel. It helps you to push, further and faster.
I think it's very safe to say, because your stories touch home, like differently touch home. So when you're talking about, obviously, I've gone through dialysis, which is similar to a certain extent to your echo.
Yeah.
ECMO. ECMO. My apologies. It's very similar. So when you're sitting there and you're describing the fact that you're actually physically seeing all of your blood leave your body into this device and then re-enter your body, the best way I could describe it at the time was it's the closest thing to being dead without being dead, because my life is there in this machine.
Wow.
And then it's getting pumped back in. Right. And even so it really touched it. And it's the reason why I was so quiet and just listening to you, because it's almost I'm reliving the things that I went through.
Yeah.
A couple of questions. So when from getting to the hospital, the first time, because presumably everyone had this infection, right? Was it from France or?
They've narrowed it down. They think it came from the air conditioning in the coach, because the driver was the first person to start throwing up and being sick, and everyone that was ill was in that confined space.
Yeah.
You know, they think it was in the air conditioning, was all breathing in bad air.
Okay.
But my body just took it in a different way. Everyone else recovered after a day or two, took maybe a couple of days off school, but I just started taking this downhill journey.
And then so obviously for the next couple of days you felt poorly, then you went to the hospital. How long was it? Because this is the thing that really, and when you touched upon the family part, right? How long was it from when you saw a doctor? How many days, or was it hours? Was it the same day that they actually turned around and diagnosed you with something?
But when I first went to Ealing Hospital, I was there for, I think it was 2 nights.
Yep.
They couldn't find out what I had. They just didn't know.
Yeah.
So I got referred to Great Ormond Street, which they've got over 50 specialisms. They've got the best doctors, nurses, surgeons, everyone in that place. If something is going wrong with someone, out of everyone, they know, they're the closest to know what you've got.
Right.
So when I went to Great Ormond Street, they had to run some biopsies and tests, grow stuff in labs and sort of test this with that. And they found out that I had strep pneumonia, influenza B, staphylococcus all at the same time. Now to have 3 in one,
That is a mad cocktail.
that's
That is like,
that's a dangerous, that's a dirty
shit.
pint.
Shit. Can I just say
That's
shit.
tequila at the end of a night.
Right. So they've diagnosed you with this thing. Fuck. I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say fuck. Yeah, because that story is crazy.
We said a little bit less
It's
swearing.
lucky
I
that
know,
we've got
I'm
that
gonna
beep
try.
over the F word there.
So you're 16
Yeah.
at this time.
Yeah.
Again, incredibly young.
Very young.
It touches your parents even more because you're incredibly young. You're in a coma, induced coma. You almost died like a badillion times in hospital. So evidently, after coming out and you're talking about this whole cab journey home and you're seeing things differently,
Right.
was that the switch in your mind where you actually decided, I want to spend the rest of my life becoming an inspirational speaker? Or
Not
what
one
was
bit.
that?
Right, so let me touch on the cab ride home. So I remember just paying attention to the pace of life. Me being so frail, fragile, barely able to walk, I saw people running for the bus, and it just wowed me that a human body could do that. And I was so inspired by what I saw, and I got inspired by all the little things. And I remember seeing a woman pushing a buggy. She's picked up a baby, started playing with the baby, and I saw it in a different way. Usually I'd see a mum playing with her daughter or son. In this day, I saw it as a baby, brand new to the world, doesn't really understand anything, and a full-grown adult who kind of gets the gist of life, but they were able to communicate to each other on the same level, and they were just showing each other love, and they both sort of understood that. A baby, brand new to the world, and an adult. When I saw that, it's like I was feeling what they were feeling, that joy, that happiness. So what changed me is I started to let the world touch me, and I started to feel the world a little bit more. Pay attention to smaller things and be amazed and wowed at everything that I saw. I love thinking, and I've got a little black book in my back pocket.
I saw that black book earlier today.
And I just
when you
always-
took it, I was like, yo.
When I get thoughts, I just write down thoughts just throughout the whole day, because I get loads of thoughts, and then I tend to sort of just have my thoughts, and then I forget what I thought about. So now I start to capture all my thoughts, and then they turn into bigger ideas, and I just sort of start to manifest them. I wonder if I could do that. I wonder if I could do that. And then my brain will just start thinking, yeah, if you do that and that and that, that will turn into that. So now I love sort of having my brain tell me what to do. Then I go and execute it. Then it gives me this buzz. Then when I get the buzz, it creates the energy where I want to do more and more and more. So one buzz leads to another buzz. I'm a buzz hunter. Like, I love a buzz.
I love a buzz too. I don't want to tell you what you've done to me on the microphone right now, but there are things that we don't need to talk about right now. But
That's
Going on to-
That's when I come back. Yeah, that's the late night.
but going on to that, so going back to your black book, so I'm trying to relate it back to me. First thing, do you struggle to sleep at night sometimes because your mind?
I sleep like a baby.
Do you
Throughout the day,
Yeah.
my mind is going at 100 miles per hour all the time. I'm over analysing everything, and I just love it. But I love it. That's the way that I love to be.
Okay.
Then come nighttime, I'm shattered. I go to sleep, and I sleep the whole
So-
night.
I struggle to sleep. I genuinely struggle to sleep, but I'm exactly the same as you. You can ask anyone here. If you look at me, you think, is he even here? Because when you're looking at me, I'm here, but you can see that there's something just not happening. Everything's happening in my head,
Right.
and I'm just thinking and thinking and thinking. Everything I do in my life it comes through my head, and I'm just overthinking everything. Next thing you know, I'm speaking, and I don't even know what I would speak because I'm probably speaking about 10 different subjects in
Yeah,
one.
yeah,
co-
yeah.
Bro, the
just
amount of conversations I've had with him, he ain't paid attention to none of it.
yeah.
You'll be sitting on his phone, again, exactly what he's saying,
Yeah.
just vacant face, and he'll reply thinking he replied to something I asked. And I'll look at him like, you won't listen to me.
But
It's true.
that's exactly what
Yeah.
I'm in. I'm in a bubble. Like I'm just thinking, does this add that together equals this, add that together. If I put them together, I can create this, or I could do that, or could do this. I'm always thinking, whether it's to do with my job, or whether it's to do with this, or whether it's to do with our family, whatever it is, my mind is thinking. But I find it difficult to switch off. Like when I get into bed, when I put my head on my pillow, I start again. And it just goes and goes and goes and goes. Next thing you know, an hour's gone. Next thing you know, 2 hours gone. 3 hours gone, and I'm still not asleep. Now it's 4 a.m. and I'm opening up in 4 hours, and I've got 4 hours. Literally happened yesterday. And I was just thinking to myself, it's beautiful that you can actually switch off. That probably keeps your mind sharper than mine.
Yeah, I think you can channel your thoughts on what you want to think about. So at night time, I'll start thinking about either what I want to achieve, and I create this journey in my mind, and I sort of just go off and do it in my head, and it turns into a dream, or I just fall asleep.
Yeah, see, I
Well,
don't
I'm
fall
not
asleep.
It turns into Never Never Land in my flipping brain, bruv. If I started what you're doing, yeah, to the point where I think a couple of weeks ago, I couldn't sleep, and I'm very much like him. Yeah, I put my head on the pillow, that's it, my brain is just a mess. It's all over the place. I, brick for brick, built my dream house. Next thing I know, 6 a.m. Yeah. So how you do that off the flipping mic, I need to know. Yeah, because I'm tired of being tired.
I think I've learned to become best friends with my voices in my head. I think that's one of the keys, is to understand that life is a journey. It starts at birth, ends with death. It's like a conveyor belt. At the start of your life, you've got people on your conveyor belt, your family. They're already there, introduced to your life. As you journey through life, people jump on. You make friends. And then as you journey through life, people jump off. You lose friends. Sometimes you lose family. But the one thing you've got the whole way through is the voices in your head. They won't go away. So I wanted to become friends with mine. So they help me, push me. We understand things together, and we like egg each other on. Like, yeah, can we do that? I don't know if yeah, let's do it. And then when I achieve, I pat myself on the back like, yeah, we actually done that. So becoming best friends with myself, I get excited about things. And I never say stuff like, oh, you stupid idiot. I never put myself down, because I am me. If I put myself down, I'm slowing down the pace in which I'm moving. And if you start making yourself feel bad about life, then life seems black and white or grey, or you're not enjoying it as much as you could be. If you cheer yourself on and say, do you know what, we messed up there, but I can see where I messed up. I've done that wrong. I should have done that. So next time I do it, I'm going to do it like that. Yeah, I'm going to do it like that. You ready? Yeah, come, let's do this. Then you just sort of cheer yourself on, charge yourself up, and then you go. The more you beat yourself up, the more you're delaying yourself. Life is hopefully a long journey for a lot of us. The quicker you can become friends with yourself, the smoother that journey is, and you get to look around and appreciate more of life.
That's powerful.
That's real powerful. So talking about journey, let's talk about your recovery journey.
Yeah.
Because we've got that cab. We're on the ride home. You're now seeing life completely differently, but obviously there's a huge recovery for you, because if you're right now saying that you're seeing people walking or you're seeing people running, and you need to start taking your first steps again in life, so you're resetting basically. Talk about that journey, because that must have been a very difficult time.
It was, because I like to do everything myself. I wasn't able to climb my own stairs. I had to have someone stand behind me just in case I fell. When I got in the bath, when I sat in the toilet, I was a skeleton. It hurt to sit in a imagine Bones sitting in a bathtub.
Oh.
That's painful to climb out of the bath. But again, I saw it as that mental challenge. I can do it. So I'd go through that pain, get myself out, cheer myself on. Yes. Then I'll make sure I ate loads of food. I tried to put on weight. I was on about 20 tablets every single day. And I remember thinking it's too confusing for me to take tablets in the morning, some on an empty stomach, some on a full stomach, some at this time, and I didn't want to do that. So I said to the doctors and nurses, I really don't want to do this for the rest of my life. They said, prove to us you don't need it. So I exercised, I ate right, and I just kept trying my best. I got on my bicycle just to be as healthy as I could. Long story short, a year later, I came off all of my medication, and again that gave me this buzz like, whoa, I did it. And I just felt like I managed to like make that happen. So again, it gave me that buzz like, you can actually achieve and make things happen. They told me I was going to be on this one tablet, azithromycin, for the rest of my life. I said, no, I'm not. So they said, prove to us you don't need it. I'd done what I needed to do, came off it. And, like I said, buzz chaser, those sorts of things just give me a different type of energy to just keep seeing what else I can achieve or do with this life thing that I'm a part of.
So I just want to see if you agree with this. Are you trying to say, if you put your head into it, and this is a doctor, we're saying someone, and you just said how great these doctors are. They're saying that you need to be on this medication for the rest of your life. However, you believed in your body, you believed in yourself, and you said that actually, no, I'm going to fight my way through it so I never have to do that. Yeah. So you're saying right now, your mind can control more than what doctors are telling you, what medicine can tell you.
I don't know the magic behind it, but to me, from the very get-go, I just knew that I wasn't going to be on tablets for the rest of my life. It wasn't a thought like, oh, what if or maybe. I just wasn't going to be on tablets for the rest of my life. That was all that I had in my head. I already made that decision. I was already sort of mentally in that place. And then when they started to sort of take away, okay, you don't need that tablet. Okay, we're going to take away that pink one, that yellow one, the one that tastes like Smarties, that one's gone. Some that tastes nice.
Give me that one back.
Yeah, some tasted nice, some tasted disgusting. Like you burp after and you have the taste of this pill like in your mouth. And so to slowly come off it was again cheering myself on like, wow, 3 to go, 2 to go, 1 more to go. Oh, that's the beast. None. That was a big moment for me. But like I said, that just turbocharged me to sort of keep wanting to push in post-traumatic growth, if you can call it that.
Yeah, that's beautiful. So how long was that process?
It took me, I'd say, the best part of a year to get my weight back, to be able to run or to do like a short sprint. When I first come out of hospital, where I had a catheter and I was peeing through this tube into a bag, my bladder and all my tubes were quite weak. So if I needed a toilet, I had a 20-second gap before it's happening. So I had to sort of be very close to toilets at all times. Then again, over time, I started to see it was a longer period of time. I can hold it in for a minute, I can go longer, And I think that's something that I really appreciate, is being in something for the long term. Just seeing growth over a long period of time. And we'll get onto my speaking, but I'm going to mention it now. So a lot of people say, oh, I can never do what you do. I was the same. I could never do what I do now back in the day. But it's by going through the process of standing up, trying it, being rubbish, but thinking, what can I do better next time? And over a space of 10 years, it's like you're building this engine. You'll start to tweak it, take things out that didn't work, try a different thing. You're speaking with different age groups now. So you're paying attention to how they're receiving you. What do they laugh at? What do they enjoy? That joke, it works with older people, but not quite that audience. So I've been tweaking my talk over time. So now I'm more comfortable speaking with different types of people, different audiences from different places. But it wasn't an overnight thing. It's just me focusing, really paying attention to my craft and what I do. It's all I think. It's like the majority of the time I'm thinking about, where can I fill the gap? What could I do next? What are other people doing? How can I do it better? What are people connecting with? When people give me feedback, what are they saying? What are people saying often, what I keep hearing a lot of the time? Okay, when I say that part about my dad, men come up to me after saying that made them cry. When I talk about the woman and the baby, mums, that's a very sort of mum thing to like go through, and they can connect with that. So I'm connecting with different age groups or different genders throughout my whole journey. I make sure that everybody can take away something. And I didn't want it to be just a sad story either. Naturally, I like to use a bit of humour. I like to just mess around with my reality. So I've learned over time to become more natural on stage and give my authentic self. And that's what people connect with, is an authentic human story. And I'm not trying to put on a show or trying to dazzle people. I like to speak from the heart, and that's what people pick up on. And that's why people say, do you know what? I really enjoyed it because you just spoke. We were just there listening to everything you were saying. So I like to pay, like I said, I overanalyze everything, and I just like to pay attention to what I can do to help other people.
So in terms of speaking, like, obviously you recovered now. you must have gone back to education, right?
Yeah, so I had to retake the year. So I went back to sixth form, year 12, and I studied double business and media. I love media. I love using my imagination to create these thoughts and bringing that thought into a reality where people can watch it and enjoy it. I weren't good at numbers. I got dyslexia. Words weren't my best thing, but I loved using my imagination. So double business kind of failed that. And when you fail a double, you have to retake the year. But I couldn't retake the year twice. So then I went to college, studied media for another 2 years, got a triple distinction in media. Then I went to university, studied media again, got a 2-1. And that's when my phone rang. And it was Great Ormond Street Hospital Children's Charity. And they said, "Hi, Ant, how are you?" And I'm like, "Oh, I'm great, how are you?" "Superb.
Thanks for saving my life.
How can I help?" And they said, "Oh, would you mind sharing your story with Morgan Stanley?" I was like, "Yeah, sure." But I didn't know who Morgan Stanley were. Like, they're a big investment banking firm that's global. Massive company. I thought Morgan Stanley was two people. Morgan and Stanley. On my mum's life, I thought it was two people. So I'm like,
You're like, yeah, I'll roll through.
no worries. So is Mark gonna be? Is it just Morgan and Stanley? How you want to do this? They said no. It's gonna be 400 people. It's a big charity event. We want you to be the guest speaker. So now my palms are sweating on the phone. I'm thinking, I just said yes. But then the woman on the phone, she was like, "Oh, you know, you don't have to if you don't want to. We can find someone else." So I really thought about it. And I said to myself, right, if I say the word no, nothing changes. I say thank you, hang up the phone, I just carry on my day. If I say the word yes, amazing things could happen. So I went forward, I'd done the talk, and at the end of the talk, you know, I was very nervous, I had butterflies, the whole lot, but at the end of the talk, I got this big round of applause, and it gave me this buzz, this massive buzz, like, whoa, I did it. And then people would come up to me after saying, "Do you know what, that was a brilliant talk, you know, really took away, well done, young lad." I was young at the time as well, so I was taking it all in like, whoa, what is going on? I've never been in that sort of environment before as well. So I was thinking to myself, was that a fluke? I wonder if I could do that again. Wait a minute, why am I feeling so good when speaking in front of people is my biggest ever fear? But I just wanted to see if that was a fluke or not. Could I make that buzz happen again? Remember, buzz chaser.
Buzz chaser.
So I said to
exactly what I was thinking. He's buzzing right now.
Yeah, I said to Great Ormond Street, if there's any more opportunities, I want to help you raise money, and I want to help build my confidence. We'll get in touch if anything comes up. And it must have been a couple years later, I got another phone call. "Hi, Great Ormond Street. Just wondering, would you like to help us win one of our biggest ever charity partnerships? It's worth £7.5 million with a company called Whitbread." I'm thinking, Whitbread? What, are they a bakery? Do they make bread? And they're like, no, they're a big conglomerate. They own multiple brands, Premier Inn, Costa Coffee, Beefeater, and some other restaurants. FTSE 100 company. So now I'm thinking, you want me to help? But I'm just silly old Ant. I'm basic. ABC 1, 2, 3. I don't know long words. I don't think I'm smart in any like way, shape, or form. How can I help? And they said, no, we just, we want you to come and help us with the pitch. So again, I'm in that position. Do I say yes or do I say no? So I said to myself, if I say no, nothing changes. I say thank you very much, but not for me. Too scared. And I carry on my day as normal. If I say yes, amazing things could happen. So I said yes. We've done the pitch. Long story short, the partnership was won. And then I got approached by two of the exec directors of Whitbread. "Young man, what are you doing with your life now?" "Just finished university, looking for a job, study media." "Oh, would you like to come and join us and help us raise £7.5 million for GOSH, Great Ormond Street Hospital Children's Charity?" So I'm thinking, right, I'm back in that place. Do I say yes or no? Run those questions through my head. If I say no, this happens. If I say yes, great things could happen. I said yes, and that took me on the craziest journey of my whole life. I remember I got the opportunity to travel the whole of the UK, and I'm from a London bubble. To me, London is my world. I got to travel to Manchester, Liverpool, Northern Ireland, Scotland, Cornwall, everywhere in between. And I got to see different types of people from different cultures, living life in different ways. Up north, they are friendly. And I love that about being up north, is how friendly people are, and they've got time. I went into Costco, there's two people in front of me. The woman being served, she's taking her time, just having a merry old conversation. And the woman behind the counter, just having a good old chin wag. And then the next person, they're having a good old catch up, but no one was rushing each other. No one was in a hurry. I was a bit like, come on. But then I looked around and thought, wait, no one is in a rush. I need to slow myself down. So I started to sort of see different things from around like my own country that I never thought I'd see, which is just different paces, different names of places, and it wowed me. And I got to speak with so many different audiences again, and I was just building up my confidence over these number of years. So over a space of 4 years, we hit the target. It was a 5-year partnership. 4 years, we hit 7.5 million. In the 5th year, we hit 10 million. It just skyrocketed. Then some sad news come through. My role got made redundant because, you know, we've hit the target. Charity Man's no longer needed. So I then had to decide, what do I do next with my life? And
when you got made redundant, that seems like your first, not real no, but your first real setback after all these positive thoughts. I mean, if you say no, this could happen. If you say yes, this could happen. You've been going through such a buzz, as you would call it, such a ride, but it's only been in one direction. Obviously, you're going to talk about where you went next, but how did that predominantly feel at that moment?
I remember getting a phone call because when I worked at Whitbread, I gave 110%. To then be made redundant, what do I do next? Do I become a web developer? Do I become a scuba diver? A karate expert? Like, where do I go? And the feedback people were telling me is, but you're really good at inspiring people. You're good at speaking. And I kept hearing that, and I was paying attention. If more than 3 people are saying the same thing, you got to pay attention to what people are saying. So I thought, I actually love my biggest fear turned into my biggest passion. So I started to think, I wonder if I could become a speaker. So they gave me a small pocket of money, and that's my redundancy package. And I said to myself, how long can I survive on this much money? So I worked out bills and outgoings, everything. I said 3 months. So that was my window of opportunity to do anything I wanted to do. That I had time available and I had free time to do what I wanted to do in a day. I weren't working no more. So I got a big piece of paper, must have been about A2, and I just kept writing ideas on what I think I needed to start up a business. I needed business cards, I needed a website, I needed mentors, I needed to understand tax, VAT, accountancy, all these different things. I was writing everything, giving it subcategories. So I had this big plan, and I just told myself, right, I'm bringing my ship to shore and I'm burning the ship, which means I'm not going back. I can't go back. I've burnt the ship. I have to make this work. So the one thing I found hard was asking for help. I like to just do everything myself. But I understood that I didn't understand this world. To make it as a business, I don't know a business like that. So I said, I need a mentor. Went on LinkedIn, typed in inspirational, motivational speakers, reached out to a few people, and there was this guy, his name popped up, Casper Berry. And I thought, I know him. I've seen him speak before. He was amazing. So I reached out, sent him a DM. Hi Casper, just want to say, I think you're an amazing speaker. I'm going on a speaker journey myself. I just want to say that I would love for you to help me, and I would travel anywhere in the UK for just half an hour of your time. Will you be willing to help? Send. 20 minutes later, bring. Hi, yeah, sure, absolutely. I live in Milton Keynes. If you're free tomorrow, come around my house, we'll have a chat. I was like, whoa. Because where I worked was in Luton, which was about 15, 20 minutes away from Milton Keynes. Out of the whole UK, he lives around the corner from where I'm sort of weaning off my work. So I went around his house, 30 minutes turned into 3 hours. We become really great friends, and he just exploded my mind beyond my capabilities of what I thought I could do. And I remember he asked me, how much would you charge for a talk? And it threw me off because I wasn't thinking about how much I'd charge for. Like, I wasn't thinking about that. And I thought about it and I said, I don't know, maybe £200-300. And he started to laugh, and I was like, why are you laughing? He said, so you're telling me if Microsoft ring you up and say, Anthony, we've got a conference, our annual conference, how much for you to speak? And you say, give me £200, I'll do it. They're not booking you. They are not booking you. If you want to step into the world of professional speaking, you have to charge professional prices. And that was the box I put myself in mentally. I've not come from money, so to me, a little bit of money is a lot of money. So I didn't understand that companies have these big budgets and they can afford that, and that's just a drip in the ocean to them. So he said to me, next time you get a call come through or an email, add a 0. I said, what? He said, add the 0. He said, if they say no, they say no. More people will be, reaching out to you in time. You've got to break yourself free of this mental barrier. So a job came through, and they said, oh, how much for you to do a 20-minute talk in Farringdon? And I thought, 20 minutes, that's like no time. Farringdon's down the road. I can't be charging that much money. So I was thinking, two grand, that's a lot. So I thought, you know what? 1,500 plus VAT. And I was shaking, sweaty palms. I was hovering over send. I slammed that send button and I shut my laptop, and I was thinking, what have I just done? Then my laptop beeped, I opened it. Perfect, can you send us an invoice, please? I shut my laptop again. I thought to myself, I went to my stairs and I sat on my stairs.
I'm
my
missing
hand on my
£1,500 out here. I should have said £3,000.
I just thought to myself, that's more than what I was making a month working where I used to work. Now I'm getting up for 20 minutes of talking. Is this real? And I couldn't believe it. But then that freed me from that mental barrier and that set like a benchmark. So then I was more confident asking for more money because I knew that I had the quality. Like, it's not something that I've started just the other day. I've been paying attention to this. I've been making this happen for a number of years. So, like, investing in something for the long term, I can't stress it enough. It's important for everybody to find something and just sort of go on that journey. Have failures, stand back up, keep going. When it gets tough, okay, beat yourself up, scream, shout, but then stand back and get back on it. And it's like, the way I like to explain to people, it's like a roundabout in a playground. You got 100 people on this roundabout and your job is to spin it as fast as you can. When you first grab the bars, you go to spin it, it's hard and it's difficult. You push and you let go. And then you grab it again, you pull and then you push and you let go. And the more you do it, the easier it gets, to the point you're just flicking with your fingers to keep the momentum and the speed going very fast. That's like anything you apply yourself to. At first, it's hard. If you want to learn a guitar, blung, 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 give it a month. Ding, 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 ding. Give it a year. You know what I'm saying? You go on that journey. Anything you want to do, you have to just go on that journey and just enjoy the journey. There will be ups, downs. Life happens like the stock market. We never just float up and we never just crash down. Even if we crash, we'll be crashed and then we get into a better place. We always go from happy to sad to angry to mad, sad, happy. We bounce from our emotions like all over the place. So life will take us on that journey. Once you can appreciate you will be in a low time, and when you appreciate that you could be in a very, very good time, that's when you get like a fuller understanding of life and what it brings, and you can adapt yourself to those times. So when you can understand, I'm in a low point now, you just start to say, right, because I'm in a low point, for me to try and jump to a high point and back to happy or happy whoever you are, that's dangerous, because if you jump too quick, you can drop just as fast. If you start to build the foundation and slowly build a big solid foundation and start to build upwards slowly, you've got a stronger structure. And that's what you've got to build in your lifetime. What you want is a big, strong foundation to carry you forward, instead of just trying to get the quick money or the quick success. If you get it quick, you'll lose it quick. If you build it solid, then it will last. It's like in the music industry, Drake. He's unstoppable. People can try and attack him. Unstoppable. Why? Hit record after hit record after hit record after hit album. Hit. He can go anywhere in the world and there'll be people that know words to every song. If he sings a song, everyone knows all those lyrics. Not everyone, or a majority of people. If he sings that song, people can vibe to that as well. Some people have that one hit song and they think, I've made it. They've jumped too quick, too fast. They've got to keep that up, keep the momentum up. Then you're solid. You don't just have that one hit wonder, everyone knows your song with that one line. Because when the album comes out, no one buys it because it's just like that one line in that one song that you had. So you got to mentally put yourself in that place where you're building that strong foundation.
I mean, it's like the Three Little Pigs, isn't it? So one built the house with straws, the other one built it with something else, and at the end, the last one built with bricks. The one with bricks is obviously going to last a lot longer, isn't it? That's beautiful, though. The way he sees life has been beautiful. I mean, it's opened my eyes as well a little bit while I've been listening. I've been looking at you, and I was like,
bro, I'm just dead on.
Yeah, like Jesus.
Tell me more.
There's not been many podcasts where we've had to be that silent.
Yeah, you've not been like real silent.
Yeah, because we've been emotionally connected. Like, you know what? I felt like a viewer at this point. You know what I mean? I haven't really been the host. Like, you've been the host, director, producer. You've been everything in this episode. It's everything we would have wanted for a finale, man.
Here, man. Thanks for having me.
Nah. But before we go, like, obviously, we need to know what we expecting next from Anthony. Like, we want to. Obviously, we're gonna have your Instagram on our website. We'll be on our social media. We're gonna put you all over our social media. But what can your fans and what can, like, our followers, who will, I'm hoping 150% start following you as well, learn from you or get from you? What's next?
Well, the journey I'm on at the moment is I'm starting to travel more to different places, different countries. Last year I came back from Australia, had my biggest ever talk. 1,500 people, was on the same lineup as the Dalai Lama, and it was just surreal being there. But when I was out there, I just told myself, this is a very happy moment, but understand it's temporary, it's not forever. So even though I'm buzzing that I'm out there, it's not going to last forever. Maybe a week later I'll be, trying to get more work in because it's sort of slowed down a little bit. So when I was in Australia, I told myself, you got to take in everything. the smell of the stage, every conversation you have, looking at the wildlife that look like Pokemon, like they got different animals out there. They got different animals out there. I remember walking through Sydney.
That took a second to just register. You said Australia has animals that look like Pokemon.
I'm telling you, I was in Sydney and I was walking down the street and I saw this bird thing. It was like it looked like a puff of a cloud with a neck and long legs, and its beak was about the length of my arm, and it was picking up bits of rubbish, and I was thinking, what the heck is that? And I look around, everyone's just getting on with life like it's normal, and I'm thinking
That's just their
that's
pigeons.
not normal. Like
That's their pigeons.
what is that? And the bird looked at me and it was just thinking, and they just go back to eating the rubbish. I was so confused. I didn't know if it was like a dangerous animal, if I could pet it. I didn't know if it spoke. Yeah, I've never seen it before. I need to get the name of that bird. I want one as a pet. They are weird. But yeah, that was good fun. So I've been traveling around, just meeting loads of different people, working with a lot of school kids. And I love working with the school kids because, you know, I think they need that mental push, that mental you can do it. So seeing the difference, the feedback that I get from the students and the teachers, you know, that keeps me going as well.
Future of tomorrow, aren't they, really?
Yeah, well, anyone younger than us is
Yeah,
the
it's
future.
future of tomorrow. Yeah, it's good to inspire them. I mean, we did one griefer talk as well, and we took a leaf out of your page. I mean, we saw you doing it, and we just thought, you know what, he's got a powerful story, but we also had our own story, and we thought, you know, any story for them is, it's a goal. It gives them a reason to say, actually, your story could connect to someone, but my story could connect to another person.
Yeah,
It's so good just
and
to pass
people
yeah.
like hearing stories. They like hearing other people's stories of what they do, and especially how they do what they do. Just getting into the mindset of someone else. You know, I think that's something that we naturally like. So that's what I draw myself to, is the art of storytelling. I'm not just sharing my story, but I'm taking people on an emotional journey that takes them to a happy place, a sad place. Some people will be crying, and at the end, some people come up to me and say, do you know what, I'm thinking about life differently now. I'll get people texting me or DMing me saying, you know, because you said that, I've now quit my job and I've started something that I'm so passionate about. Thank you. You know, because you said that part, I'm now thinking about helping these people in this area. And to get that feedback, it does something to me. It just tells me, just keep going. And it puts on my blinders, and I just think forward of how I can help more people, how I can connect with more people, what can I do to support that person, even just meeting a stranger. I just end up sitting down, we having like a 5-hour conversation. I just love getting into someone's mind and helping them see life from a different
You can hear
angle.
in your voice though, it's quite evident in your voice exactly how happy you are doing this. I mean, you call it a buzz. I could feel your buzz sitting right here while you're speaking to us. And I've heard parts of your story before. Parts of it were really new to me as well today. But that buzz that you have right now, it's infectious. Like I've taken bits of it, and it's now like I feel like I'm wired on coffee or something. Like I'm ready to run out of here and just go inspire as many people I can inspire.
And that's the thing. Everybody has a little something that they're good at, or they see the world in a different way. Some people may be good at, I don't know, numbers, music. Some people are just really good listeners. Some people just love leaves on a tree, and they can tell you by looking at a leaf, what leaf or what tree that's from. That's their speciality. That's what they love. That's what they take away from life. Everyone sees life in a different way. We can be in the same room, but everyone's experiencing it in a different way based on everything you've seen, heard, or felt throughout your life. Some people may be working with wood their whole life, so sitting here, they're looking at this table thinking, oh, that's made out of that wood. Those chairs made out of that wood. But me, I'm just seeing wood. You know, I'm not seeing the details. So everyone sees life in different layers, and I find that amazing. So to sit and speak with someone, to see the depth of how they experience life, and just to compare, well, I see it like this, or I see it like that. Or I love, you know, my thoughts always go off in this direction.
Listen, if anyone's going to be evident of what you just said, right? So if I took anything away from this story, is the fact that you can quite literally go from absolutely nothing to being damn near killed by an AC on a coach back from France to on stage with a bloody Dalai Lama. Yeah, your story is powerful. It's been an absolute pleasure you sharing it with us, and I hope that everyone listening to this can take away the fact that whatever you set your mind to, the evidence is very real. We've just had Anthony with us sharing this story, and you can see the fact that your mind is overly powerful and can take you to crazy places. I just want to say, listen, thank you.
Thank you very much.
It's been an absolute pleasure.
Now, honestly, thank you guys for having me here. Sorry if I waffle on.
No,
I
no,
get
no, bro,
excited
we
when I
needed that.
speak.
I absolutely loved it, man. Generally, the fact is, yeah, we wouldn't even let it go like that far unless we were engaged that much. And you know what? We've been totally engaged the whole way through.
Can I end on one
Of
point?
course.
Yeah.
Of course.
How long have I got? Because I just want to just waffle on to one point real quick.
Go ahead.
Go for it.
Right. I'll talk you through another dark place that I went to and how I pulled myself out of that. So I won't explain what happened. I don't want to mention names or anything, but I received some news and it hit me mentally. It broke me down. It crushed me. It took me from a happy 10 to a sad 2. And I noticed what happened was I started to eat more junk food. I stopped going out of the house. I started to gain weight. My confidence went low. My thoughts kept spiraling in circles. I couldn't think clearly. And that's the one thing I love doing in life, is just having a clear thought. My brain was clouded. And I was like you were saying, I'm present when I'm with my friends, but I'm not present, fully not there. And I noticed this was happening, and I noticed a shift, and I feel comfortable being in this space. Never been in that space before. So I had to pull an emergency meeting. I invited me, myself, and I, when no one was home. And I spoke to myself in the mirror, and it's like I interviewed myself. And the first thing I said was, you're not going to lie to yourself because you are you. And when you lie, you know you're lying, so that don't make sense. I said, open and honest. How are you feeling? Right, I'm feeling angry, I'm feeling sad, I'm feeling depressed. Wait, depressed? Haven't used that word before. What is depression? How does it make you feel? My stomach keeps tensing for no reason. I'm clenching on my jaw. I wake up with like a grit in my teeth. My thoughts keep going in circles. And I explained what was happening. I said, right, how is everyone else feeling? Well, they're just getting on with life. So it's just you that's going through this. Yeah, it's just me. If you continue this for 6 months, what would that look like at the end of 6 months? I'll be massively overweight. My confidence will be low. My career, which I love, my passion of speaking, it will start to sort of collapse. I don't want that to happen. Right, so what have I got to do? I understand that I've been knocked down real low. I can't jump straight to happy ant tomorrow, maybe not even this week. I'm going to have to sort of build myself up, build a foundation again. How do I do that? Right, what I'm going to do, I'm going to set myself very small challenges, but when I achieve them, times it by 10, pat myself on the back, big time. So I start to make my bed the neatest I've ever made it before. No creases, so if I had a bad day, come back home, open the bedroom door, I saw I'd done that to the bed. So I'll be like, whoa, you done that times by 10. Oh, you the man. Yeah. No creases in the bed.
That's your bed.
Yeah, gangster. And what I noticed was the jokey voice came out for a little bit, then it went back again. Yeah. But I said to myself, he's still there. I just got to keep teasing him out more and more and more. Then I said to myself, right, I'll do a press-up challenge. Before I leave the house every day, I got to hit a certain number. And it was a big number that I struggle with. If I didn't get to that number, I've got to go eat some more spinach, come back and do it again until I hit that number. Then I can leave the house. But big myself up. All right, Mr. Muscle, is that you? Yeah. Jokey voice comes out, went away. I started to run. Instead of doing 5K, I'll do 6K, just pushing a bit beyond. With my work, I started to email and call. I was calling maybe 20 people a day. I was emailing maybe 100 people a day. Just using every ounce of energy, just putting it towards trying to get more work in. And I've kept that pattern going for about 3 weeks. Then I got an email come through. And it said, hi Anthony, thanks for your email. Been on your website, love what you do. We want to invite you out, 4 nights accommodation, speaking in front of this many people, blah, blah, blah. Would you like to come? And I've emailed so many people over this 3 weeks. I was thinking, who's this company again? So I scrolled down, saw the link, happinessanditscauses.com.au. .com.au? What the heck is that? Click on the link, scroll down a bit, Sydney, Australia. So my biggest ever opportunity in life, 1,500 people, Dalai Lama in Australia, came from me being in my lowest of my low points, but building myself up bit by bit. And by going on that push of pushing myself, it's like this diamond just appeared out of nowhere saying, you worked really hard, you went in, here's your reward. Best thing that you've ever done. And when I went to Australia, it's like all of that depression, all that sad thing, it disappeared. It's like I completed that challenge, or I got to the boss level and I completed it. I felt lifted, and with that, it taught me more about myself. I can't go back to that low point again. I can't let other people allow me to experience life at a 2. So I've put this like safe barrier around me where if negativity comes towards me, it pings off me. I've got armor on. I'm not letting happy ant get sad by other people, and I just want to keep pushing positivity. Now, if negativity comes, I can eat it, chew it up, turn it into an energy, and that pushes me even more. I won't let myself get to that level ever again. I've done that before. So now I can catch myself before I get there. So if I go from an 8 to maybe a 6, we gotta have a word, and I'll have a word myself. Why am I feeling like this? What is it? Is it someone? Is it something that I can control? If it's not something I can control, what can I do to keep myself occupied or happy or in a better place? What more can I do to help other people, to make myself get that good energy, to build myself back up? So I pay attention to my energy levels and other people's energy levels. If I can sense negativity in that person, I understand that they're upset about something, or they're unconfident about something, so it's getting projected in a negative way to make them feel better. So I try to stop that, sit them down, talk them through understanding what they're doing, crush someone and then build them back up different, make them think about life differently. So anyone out there listening or watching this, pay attention to time and what you do with time, how much time you spend with certain people. Do you need to spend 5 hours with that person or just 30 minutes with that person? Time is the one thing that will get you great at doing anything you want to do. The more time you dedicate. If you could dedicate 1 hour to doing anything you want to do, simple. If you want to learn how to do the splits, 1 hour every day to stretch. In a couple of months, you'll be doing the splits. You'll amaze yourself at what you've done. Use that energy to keep building yourself bit by bit, up and up and up and up and up. Don't try to hit level 10, first time running. Start at level 1 and just slowly see the progress. Cheer yourself along the way, and in time, you can get to do amazing things. For me to be a speaker and to be able to do what I do, it's taken me 10 years, but people don't see the 10 years of all what I've been through, and the graft, the grind, the sleepless hours and dead nights,
the traveling,
everything. They see like the on stage. How does he do that? I wish I could do that. I wish I could do that too, but it's just taking me time. So time is the main thing, and how you spend your time. And on that note,
so you've heard it at first.
Jeez.
The story's been absolutely inspirational. We are going to upload the videos. We are going to have Anthony's page up, so you could definitely go and visit that, see some of the other material he's doing. I know you've got a website as well.
Yep, www.anthonyinspires.com, and social medias is I am Ant Bennett, Bennett.
There you go.
It'll be on our website, so you can literally click it. It'll be tagged on our Instagram, so you literally click it. Make sure you lot are following, because I don't think you're going to get inspired as much as what we've just been inspired today, because that was absolutely beautiful. So again, one more time, thank you very much for coming on our show. It's been a pleasure having you. Today it was Anthony Bennett. Next time, it could be you.